Folks, if you take away anything from this video, understand that selling in today's market is not guaranteed. I'll tell you what I mean and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the city of Toronto for week ending November 15th, 2023. Not long ago, we purchased a property for a buyer client. And we were monitoring the listing for a while. The reason I say we had to monitor it is because when it first came out, we saw it, but price was too high. And when I speak to the listing agent, their attitude is that's the price. And given all these reasons why that's the price and the seller won't budge the price didn't make any sense. But after 30 days and a few more conversations and then 60 days of being on the market, the conversation changed. And when I was speaking to the listing agent's talking to me about how the seller needs to sell and he's trying to talk the seller to adjusting the price. So he's giving me a whole different attitude, a whole different vibe. I end up finding out that the sellers have already purchased. Closing date is approaching. That agent helped them with the purchase, so he's going to be earning money there. Plus, this home needs to sell or they can't close, and everything's messed up if they don't sell. We managed to negotiate. We ended up buying the property. And the reason I'm telling this story is because the seller, or from taking the wrong advice from their agent, so in other words, the agent, they manufactured this problem. They brought this problem on themselves. There was a time where you listed your property, and even though selling wasn't guaranteed, there was a time where buyers lined up to overpay. And it's just whatever price you put, practically people were selling. But not today. And even if you don't follow real estate that much, you've got to know prices are trending down. You've just got to know that. It's in all the news. Sales are trending down. Realtors, hey, volume is way, way lower than it's been before. So realtors are struggling. They only get paid on commission. So some of them are motivated by that sale that they've not seen in a long time. Like, all this is playing into the fact that why would a seller buy first and not sell first? If you buy first as a seller, you are setting yourself up for failure in a lot of situations. Now, I can understand if a seller bought pre-construction 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago sometimes, and it was a different market then. And they thought, no problem, we bought pre-construction, and as we approach closing, we'll sell it. It's a different market today. The price you thought you were going to get for your house isn't there anymore. You need to sell in order to buy. But you bought so many years ago, whoever thought you'd have this problem today? Well, some of those sellers are waiting far too long to put their home on the market. And then there's the sellers that are buying a resale. They go out, they go shopping, their realtor says, yeah, let's go buy. You're buying your dream home. You buy, they figure out, yeah, your home will sell for this price. We'll get it sold in a few weeks. Everything is good. And then it's not. Getting back to what I was saying, selling is not guaranteed. If you've experienced any problem with this or have any familiarity with buying first versus selling first, please comment below. Let me know your experiences. But there's enough problems out there. There's enough financial problems right now with mortgage payments being through the roof. Why would you create more problems for yourself? Now, I can see sellers thinking, well, if I sell first and I can't find the house I'm going to buy, the new house I'm moving into, I could be homeless. And you're right. If you sell, there's going to be a closing date. And if you don't buy before the closing date and move in before the closing date, you're right. You could be homeless. So it might mean you have to maybe rent for a while or stay with family for a while. There are options. They're not great, some of them, but there are options. However, if you buy first and now try to sell your house and you can't sell it and you need those proceeds of the sale to close, you're talking about far more serious repercussions. You're talking about slashing your price to get the sale. So you were afraid of renting for 6 months or a little longer or 3 months. Well, now you're taking hundreds of thousands, sometimes dollars off your sale price. And that jeopardizes how much money you need to actually close. Whatever problems you think you're going to have by selling first and then not finding your house, I guarantee you, going the other way, the problems are far more serious. They're far worse. And you should not, in this day and age, in this market, get yourself into that position. I don't know where you're getting your advice from. I don't know why you think that's a good idea. If it's your realtor telling you, yeah, let's buy, don't worry, we'll sell your house real quick. Shame on that realtor, because that's bad advice. Now, I know everybody's situation's different and you got to look at your own situation. But generally speaking, for most people, you need to sell first in this market, know how much money is going to be in your pocket, and then go out shopping. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Below this video in the description is a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, if you're looking for a truly unique multifamily home where both families can live above grade in luxury, check out the video at the end of this video. So what I was speaking about earlier, about selling first, then buying, it's a given, absolutely, especially if you need the proceeds of your sale in order to buy. And I know lots of you have experience with this. Lots of you know somebody that messed this part up. Please let me know in the comments below how you feel about selling first versus buying first. Let's get into the numbers, because you should know it's all downhill from here. We're leading now towards the holiday season. Everything's trending down in most cases. So here's a quick summary. We've got, these are average sold prices for 3 months, condos, semis and towns, detached. The spread between a condo to a detached for average prices is about $900,000. There's not too many people selling their condo and buying a detached property. There's a step or two in between for many of those people moving from condo to detached. Now, here's weekly summary by week, broken down by year. This is for detached properties only for the city of Toronto. I've got lots of notes on the board here. So let's look at post Labor Day, because that's a season on its own. Sales are dropping. And if we look at last year, same thing was happening. It's very seasonal. The pool of buyers is shrinking right now as we head into the holiday season. I know it's November and we're talking about holiday season, but we're seeing the trend here already. We're seeing sales drop. It'll keep doing that all the way till the end of the year. We see it every single year. Average prices, although for a couple weeks now they've bounced up a little bit, overall trending down. And if we look where average prices were July and August, we're a little bit higher than where we were July and August. But I do expect, as we see every year, most years, average prices coming down towards the holiday season, towards the Christmas season. Compared to last year, the average price of $1,615,000, which I didn't announce earlier, but the average price for Toronto detached price properties for week ending November 15th is $1,615,000. It's 3% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price of $1,250,000 is also 3% higher than where the median price was this time a year ago. And the dotted line, that's a 4-week moving average. And you could see it's been trending down slightly. It's not aggressive, but it is trending down overall. Here's sales. Sales, we already saw earlier, they're trending down. Of the 97 that sold, 35% sold at list price or more, so a little more than a third. Now, compared to last year, year to date, so January 1st to November 15th, we have 11% fewer sales year to date. 11%, not so bad. What's all the hype that you hear that sales are so bad compared to year? Well, it's compared to the previous year. In the last 2 years, if we compare this year's sales versus 2021, we have 39% fewer sales of detached properties. That's where the big drop in volume is compared to 2021, which was a banner year. Listings. Well, there are 1,743 active listings. These are properties available for sale, detached properties only available for sale. That number is 511 more than what we had available for sale this time a year ago. So 511 more detached properties available for sale. Lots more choices this year than what we had last year at this time. More choices brings prices down. More choices works against prices going up. Well, compared to a year ago, year to date, we have 8% fewer listings this year, year to date, than what we had last year. So 8% fewer. But when you look at the listings here, the orange, that's this year, the blue, that's a year ago. You think, well, how can we have 8% fewer listings where on this chart, we can see listings this year are by far outpacing listings for the same period a year ago? Well, that's only 3 months. It's the first part of the year that we had very few listings. I guess lots of sellers were waiting for things to change. We're waiting maybe for rates not to go up. We're waiting for prices. Never happened. So now sellers are also, lots more homeowners feeling the pressure now of the increased payments. And over time, more and more sellers are going to feel the pinch. And that's why the second part of the year, we're seeing far more listings on the market than what we saw at the beginning of the year. But overall, we actually have 8% fewer listings this year than a year ago. And months of inventory has been climbing. We're sitting at 4.1 months of inventory, pretty much a balanced market overall in the city of Toronto. So that's for the whole city of Toronto, detached properties only. Let's break Toronto down a bit into 9 sections. So Toronto as a whole is sitting at 4.1 months of inventory. In your mind, you think, okay, balanced market, 4.1. It all depends. It depends on where you're buying or where you're selling. If you look at Scarborough, we're sitting at 2.6 months of inventory. Technically in a seller's market, but there'll be pockets within there that are balanced. Some pockets more of a buyer's. In some areas, yes, it's a seller's market. In some parts of Scarborough, 45%, close to half of those properties are selling at list price or more. You got Beaches sitting at 2.1. East York, Riverdale, the Beaches area, 2.1 months of inventory. High Park, Parkdale. Look, there was only 6 properties sold, but you're looking at a 2.3 months of inventory. And then you have other neighborhoods. York Mills, Rosedale, the average price is more than 2.6 million. Months of inventory sitting at 5. Pretty much a buyer's market when you're looking at that. 0% sold at list price or more. And you can look at the different areas. It's a whole different buying and selling experience depending on which neighborhood you're looking to buy and sell in. Let's take a look at semis. 36 semi-detached properties were sold. 7 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price been trending down to $1,232,000 for the average semi-detached sold. Still more than 1.2 million. Compared to last year, 1,232 is 7% higher than what it was a year ago. The median price is 8% higher. Months of inventory, it's at 2.5, and I'm kind of looking, I'm trying to see the trend. Is months of inventory going up, going down? Because on a weekly basis, sales are so low that it fluctuates quite a bit on a weekly basis. And when I draw a line across at 2.5, there are far more weeks over the span of 3 months below 2.5 than above. So 2.5 is one of the higher marks. So my attitude when I see this is that overall, months of inventory is trending up. It's higher now than what it's been most of the 3 months. And that would explain why average prices are trending down. Townhouses. These are freehold townhouses, only 12 sold in all the city of Toronto. 12 of them, 3 of those were at $1.5 million or more. Average sold price 1 week to the next jumped up a bit. It's now sitting at $1,138,000. 1138 is 3% higher than where we were this time last year. The median price is 7% lower than this time last year. And months of inventory sitting at 3.2. There was only 12 sold. 3/4 of those sold at list price or more. So the freehold townhouse market is quite competitive. Here we go, condos. Condos is a whole different world. Still though, seasonality does play into it. You could see sales trending down. What we didn't get with condos is post-Labor Day, we didn't see the uptick in sales like we did in the detached market. So sales have been trending down for a while. 142 condo apartments were sold for week ending November 15th. 15 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price has come down to $702,000. And you can see post-Labor Day, average prices went up, and now they're starting to come down. $702,000 is 7% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% lower. And if you look at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, pretty clear. Average prices and median prices are trending down. 142 were sold, only 23% sold at list price or more. Compared to last year, year to date, so January 1st to November 15th, we have 12% fewer sales this year. Compared to 2021, we have 43% fewer sales this year versus what we were doing the same period in 2021. Big difference in volumes. Listings, 598 were listings. We could see listings becoming fewer and fewer every week. This year, we actually have 3% more condo listings than a year ago. But compared to 2 years ago to 2021, we have 7% fewer listings. Active listings is starting to come down. Now, you could think, well, active listings is coming down. Doesn't that mean the market's getting tighter? Well, if you only think of that, then yeah, you'd be right. But sales are also coming down. So because sales are dropping and active listings, it's still going to take us quite a bit of time to get through that volume. And that's why months of inventory is continuing to climb. We're sitting at, excuse me, I had to cough when I saw that number there. We're sitting at 7.1 months of inventory. No doubts, we are sitting in a buyer's market when it comes to condos. Now, there's going to be some prime, very prime buildings where there's some competition still, where it's really tough to get in that building, and it's an in-demand type of building. But overall, no question, we're sitting in a buyer's market when it comes to condos. We're sitting at 7.1 months of inventory, continues to climb for condos, apartments. Here's a quick summary. Between 3 to 5 months is a balanced market. We're pretty much in a balanced market across the city of Toronto. But some neighborhoods and some property types like condos, very much in a buyer's market. As always, who you hire matters. Strategy, especially in these changing markets, especially from one neighborhood to another, you kind of got to redevelop a strategy depending on the situation, depending on the set of circumstances, depending on the neighborhood. buying strategy, selling strategy, make sure you align yourself with a realtor that can explain all this to you and give you good advice. And the realtor's role really is to be a consultant to you so you can make the best decision for you and your family. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Welcome to 4027 Bloor Street West in Etobicoke. Before I show you the inside of this home, let me tell you what makes it so unique. It has in all 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It has 9-foot and 10-foot ceilings. Each room has its own individual climate control. These are all luxury features you would expect from a custom-built home. But what really stands out in this home is that it was designed from the very beginning for 2 families to live separate and independent of each other, both above grade. Let me start by showing you the principal residence. So this is the principal residence. Including the finished basement, you have 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, about 3,000 square feet. So here's the finished basement. It has 10-foot ceilings, an entertainment area, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a private walk-up to the backyard. So this is the private, self-contained, luxurious secondary suite with 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. Have a look.